Тема следующей сессии «Открывая новые горизонты».
The topic of the next session is Opening New Horizon, IDML in the New Era. Sergey Shebalov, the Vice President of Sabre Corporation, Research and Development Department. He's going to talk about the artificial intelligence and machine learning and best practices in this area. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Victor. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you enjoy the conference.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about some work that I see happening in the airline industry and in travel industry in the sphere of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Hopefully, I'll show you a few actual examples where artificial and machine learning Sorry, I understand there was some interruption. So I'll try to pick up where hopefully I stopped. So it's pretty difficult to predict what the future is going to be. And some of the predictions that people made in the past about technology turn out to be pretty accurate. Hopefully all of you recognize this device that we use now every day. Some of them did not turn out to be the way people envisioned them. And some of them became much more than what people were dreaming about. We are carrying computers in our pockets these days, which are much more powerful than what's displayed on the screen. However, artificial intelligence, I would say, under-delivered. So far compared to what people envisioned in the 60s and 70s when they started this direction. But it is on the edge where it, I believe, will start bringing value, where we can start see very specific applications in the travel industry. Sabre has been working in this area for a while. We started as a subsidiary of American Airlines and focused on the reservation, and then gradually developed in the global technology provider for travel industry. So why is it what I believe that artificial intelligence and machine learning will definitely have potential for this industry? First of all, it's a very complicated industry. It's a global industry with a lot of different parties playing into this. Providers of travel options, travelers, governments, which are coming out with regulations, a lot of supporting technology companies that are helping travel industry. It's a very global and very complex industry and very data dependent. So there's a lot of opportunity to simplify this complexity. There's a lot of opportunity to make decisions smarter and better. Now, we already see some examples where companies working in the travel industry start using artificial intelligence and start getting real results out of this. There are early examples. They are still somewhat in the exploratory stages, but they are reporting very good results, and they bring benefits both to the companies which start using it and to the travelers which are using services from these companies. So what is it what we are trying to achieve with artificial intelligence and machine learning? Why is it that we believe it will bring benefits? In the travel industry, a lot of decisions needs to be made. And these decisions impact the service that customers are getting, it impacts the profitability of the companies which are making these decisions and providing these services. So in the past, a lot of these decisions were made using what we call generation one algorithm, where human made these decisions in advance and they coded them up into some kind of a software, and then these decisions were simply executed. Over time, people realized that decisions need to be more and more complex. So from the hard-coded decisions or actions, people switched to flexible business rules, which means it's still humans who governed these processes, but they created sort of what-if statements for trying to envision any situation in the future and trying to create an action or recommendation for this situation. So that became more flexible, it became more dynamic, but it still was very inconvenient in terms of a number of rules people need to manage and the ability to envision the future when these rules can be applied. So what machine learning and artificial intelligence help us to do is to switch from the second generation to the third generation of recommendations, which are made based on the data. And they are made in real time based on the trained machine learning algorithms, trained machine learning models that can react to any dynamic situation. They can react to any preferences that traveler has at this given point in time. So what we're going to do now is to talk about a few specific examples or areas where we are working on to apply artificial intelligence and machine learning and try to make these decisions better. All of you are familiar with what we call traveler journey. Then you are planning to go on vacation or you're going for a business trip. Any travelers goes through these steps from planning to shopping for the trip, purchasing it, traveling, and returning back and maybe sharing the feedback about the purchase. And each of these steps involves a lot of different search for information, a lot of different decisions that one needs to make, a lot of different underneath technology, which needs to support these steps. So underneath the water, to make sure that this trip is happening, there's a lot of technology which providers of a travel, airlines, hotels, rental car companies, trains, and many different attractions and activities providers, they need to have technology to be able to make this travel successful and provide the best possible service. So we at Sabre defined the technology we are working on in these three steps: retailing, distribution, and fulfillment, which means ability to create an offer for a customer, ability to bring this offer to a customer, and maybe combine the offers from multiple providers, and then fulfill this promise of the service, actually to execute the trip itself. So that's what I will point out as a few examples for each of this area that we are already working on, and what I also see industry is actively working on. So the first example will be in personalization of a travel. People are looking for better and better trips for themselves, which means we are looking for trips which match their own preferences. And everyone is a little bit different, everyone looking for a slightly different experience from the trip. And that's what the providers, that's what the travel industry is trying to capture. How can we create the offer for a traveler which best match his or her preferences? So there have been multiple steps that the industry already went through from the 30, 40 years ago, a simple message on what's available to travel from point A to point B, gradually moving towards more and more personalized offer, that the offer with a travel. All of the components of a travel will be included in this, and it will be customized for a particular traveler who is looking to travel. So we consider multiple steps which are required to create this offer. First, we need to look at the shopping and booking data in the past to understand what it is people are looking for. Then we need to understand segments of the different customers which are traveling in a particular destination or on a particular airline. Then we need to optimize pricing for this travel, and that's a very complex and very data-driven problem which has been solved for a while, but now we're including machine learning algorithms into helping with this problem. Once we determine the price for the travel from point A to point B, we supplement this travel with all the extras, with all the ancillary products and services that an airline can offer. And then we figure out what's the best bundle of these components. And then finally, we match this bundle to a particular segment or to a particular customer. So when a customer is shopping on a website or visiting a travel agency, they are offered a trip, which includes everything that they are looking for, everything that they would like to have, and does not bother them with things that they cannot use or not interested in. And it's offered at the optimal price for the customer. So that's what we call offer optimization. There's a lot of data which is required to come up with an optimal offer for a specific customer. And I can see a lot of startups in the industry playing in this space, trying to understand what the customers are looking for, how to create this optimal offers. The next example is in the space of distribution. I just talked about offer that, let's say, a single airline creates and how much needs to go to create an optimal offer for a single airline. But people don't travel to sit on a plane, or most people don't travel to sit on a plane. So we travel for the total experience, and this is what we at Sabre call total trip. We need an airline ticket or a train ticket. We need maybe a rental car. We need a hotel or multiple hotels. We need all of the different experiences and attractions and activities that we want to happen. All of this is coming from many different suppliers. All of these offers, optimal offers from different suppliers, needs to be brought together, optimized, packaged into this total trip, and then distributed all around the globe. People from different continents might be interested in offers all around the world. So the distribution problem is a very difficult problem because of the scale of operations. And obviously these days, with the technology that we are using, we expect these activities happens in milliseconds. So again, a lot of data which needs to be processed, a lot of patterns which needs to be recognized, which is a very natural application for artificial intelligence and machine learning. And then just to give you a scale of this problem, these numbers here represents the number of options to go from New York to London. And from all of these options, eventually the customer hopefully selects just one of them. Now you can imagine what happens if instead of just travel from New York to London, we are planning a vacation in UK for a couple of weeks. What happens with this number of options if we add all of the possible hotels and activities and trips and so on? It becomes a very, very large problem, which artificial intelligence and machine learning is helping us how to solve. Finally, in fulfillment, unfortunately, all of you probably have been in a situation when a flight is delayed because of some major event. And this is another aspect of AI and ML, which can help us. A lot of the decisions have to be made very, very quickly during the disruption. Customers are sitting at an airport or on a plane. Everyone is worried about security and safety and getting on time to a place of a destination. So this is where machine learning models help a lot because they are pre-trained in advance and they can quickly jump into action and provide the best possible recommendation at this given point in time and hopefully recover all of the activities, both on the supplier side, a lot of resources needs to be recovered, the plane, the crew, the airport operations, and on the customer side, that all the experience for customer happens as smoothly as possible, and they get to the destination safely, or maybe they find some alternative options how to fulfill their trip. So that's another example. And again, I see quite a lot of new companies exploring application of machine learning in this area, with a smart compensation for the trip, with offering alternative options for the trip, and so on. So at Sabre, we've partnered with Google about 1.5 years ago to start exploring bringing this technology to travel industry. Sabre is a technology provider for travel industry, which has been in the space for about 50 years. We have a lot of experience on the business problems, on the customer experience. We have a lot of data related to travel industry. And we've been building these decision support systems for quite a while. So we have an expertise on how to apply technology, how to apply science to travel industry. On the Google side, obviously we are very advanced as a technology provider across the globe. They have developed quite a lot of tools and algorithms in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So joining together, we are building this Sabre Travel AI technology that will empower travel industry with a faster and better and smarter decisions. And hence, the travelers will have smoother experience, will get optimal offers that are personalized for them. And hopefully that will help the whole industry to get better. So with that, I'd like to play you a little video which talks a little bit more about Sabre Travel AI, and then I'll answer a couple of questions which came up in the chat. And please go ahead and type your questions here so I can answer them if you have more. Thank you.
How can technology make travel more personal? Introducing Sabre Travel AI, the ingrained technology that will help make personalized travel a reality. Bringing together Sabre's deep industry expertise with Google Cloud's state-of-the-art AI technology and advanced learning capabilities, Sabre Travel AI enables travel companies to take retailing and customer experiences to the next level. Access real-time, unprecedented data on traveler preferences and business insights like never before, to provide the right offer to the right person at the right time, extending that customized experience all the way through to the day of travel. It's about getting better acquainted with today's traveler, who they are, their likes, their dislikes, and using predictive insights to keep them coming back for more. Increase revenue opportunities while enabling more tailored travel experiences. Scalable, intelligent. Take a bold step forward in infusing decision science across the full travel spectrum. And get ready to experience everything Sabre Travel AI has in store for the future of travel.
All right, so that's how we look at AI in travel industry. That's the technology that Sabre is building in this space in partnership with Google. And as I said in the very beginning, I see a lot of opportunities these days for playing in this field, for developing new technology in this field. Travel industry has been under very significant stress over the last 1.5 years. But I participate in many conferences. We are talking to many different players in this industry, and there is optimism these days with recovery in different regions. Recovery happens at different pace, but there is definitely optimism around the recovery, and the number of travelers that we see is getting better and better. So people believe that at some point we will recover. The travel will change a little bit in the long term, but it will definitely get to the previous levels and will grow beyond that. So with that, let me take a look at the questions and try to answer them. I have a couple here. First question is, today AI is associated with chatbots and virtual assistants. It is clear that these are just first steps of AI implementation. What potential does AI/ML have in customer service? So I think a lot. First, I would hope that AI/ML will limit the number of requests for the customer service. So because it's based on the data, because it can recognize patterns in advance, it should identify potential problems before they even occur and solve them. So the customer service is not even required. That's customer service which is happening in the stressful situation. And we see quite a lot of applications. For example, I know of a very successful studies of machine learning applications in recognizing maintenance issues with aircraft and hence putting an aircraft into the maintenance before it's disrupting any kind of customer trip. And then second, I do believe what I talked about with a personalized offer in retailing space, that AI/ML should be able to recognize what people are looking for, what kind of experience, what kind of travel they are hoping to get. I think so far we haven't solved this problem yet. I think it's still a quite painful experience to plan a trip and to customize it to specific customer needs. So that's where a lot of customer service is required these days. We need to be able to train this model so we can provide people with a much better experience in the planning stage. Okay, second question. Today, many ecosystem players and corporations offer digital transformation services, including AI development and integration. From your perspective, what should companies consider prior to implementing AI and ML? That's a good question because people jump into AI ML hoping for things coming out in a couple of weeks, and sometimes often they probably get disappointed. I'll share an experience that we're going through and a couple of key points. One is AI ML does require data. It doesn't necessarily have to be a huge amount of historical data. There is reinforcement learning, there is experimentation where AI/ML can be trained on the data which is coming in real time, but that access to the data is important. So the first thing that my recommendation would be, make sure that your data management processes are set up in a way that the data is conveniently available for AI and ML models to be built and trained and then finally served. And then the second thing that is emerging is a concept of ML ops. This is once a product which encompasses AI ML technology is implemented, then how do we make this successful in production? It requires additional checks on the quality of the data, additional checks on the quality of the model's recommendation, monitoring, explaining the results that this model produces. That's what's encompasses inside of the ML ops term. And that's a big area which needs to be taken care of prior to start successfully using machine learning and artificial intelligence in real life. All right, and maybe I can do one more. Will AI/ML enable to define the ideal vacation destination in the future, or is it more about emotional purchase? I think it depends on the type of person, and it also depends on the amount of data the public is willing to share. I'm looking at myself and let's say my son, and we definitely have a very different perspective on how much open to the internet, to the society we want to be with our personal information. If over time people will be more and more comfortable about sharing their preferences, then I do believe that AI/ML will be able to pick up better and better offers for travel. All right, the questions are coming. This is great. Thank you. So I'll read one more. Mr. Kuzvail, a pioneering inventor and futurist from Google, talks about upcoming technological singularity when robots will surpass humans' intelligence and will have an ability for self-improvement. Can AI fully replace a human touch? How will humans' role change with a widespread of AI/ML technologies? That is probably a philosophical question that, or both philosophical and technological question that is not only for travel industry, but for life of a society overall. And I don't think there is a right or wrong answer here. At this point, I think these are opinions or hope or visions of the people. Based on what I see, we are not close to robots replacing humans yet. And I'm not even talking about emotions or any kind of feeling. I'm talking about logical conclusions, ability to make reason, ability to make connections between data points, which seems to be not relevant to each other. I would say we are pretty early in the stages of developing these algorithms and teaching robots or teaching computers how to make their own decisions. But I do see the progress. I do see some advances where AI/ML is helping people. I wouldn't say it's a substitution for human. I would say this is a supplementary development. So I can see how in the future people and computers will work together rather than one substituting another. All right, so these are all the questions that I have so far. Maybe what I'll do is if there is no more questions, I have maybe 1 or 2 minutes left. I'll point out to the specific, since this is a startup village, what is it what I see small companies, startups being successful when they work on AI/ML. There's a lot of data which is available in travel industry. This is an advantage for travel industry because of how much data we are collecting about providers of a travel and travelers themselves. So for a small company which has a great idea or which has a technology that it pioneered and developed, the best possible scenario which I see people succeeding in is to find a larger entity which can provide this data and try to partner with this larger entity, developing their own technology, agreeing on APIs, and then pioneering their own technology based on these large data providers that exist in the industry. So I was thinking about what the message would be or what advice I could give to the startup community. That's where I see the most promising direction for startups to bring this type of technology, AI and ML, to the travel industry. With that, I think I'm almost out of time. So thank you again for joining. Thanks for your attention. And I hope the conference provides a lot of value for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of an application of AI and ML technology in travel industry. Thank you, everyone. And I think we can wrap.
низких температурах окружающей среды тела быстро теряют энергию. Но нахождение вблизи источника тепла позволяет телу получать тепловое излучение. Происходит самопроизвольное перераспределение тепла. Следовательно, когда источники тепла находятся вместе, их энергия побеждает холод. Лучшее создается вместе. Газпромбанк.
МТС Стартап Хаб. Работа с реальным бизнес-заказчиком МТС. Доступ к ресурсам самого крупного телеком-бренда в России. Не можешь поверить? А в твой стартап обязательно поверят. У нас есть все, что тебе понадобится. Ресурсы, клиенты, технологии, каналы продаж. Мы оценим твой продукт, правильно применим в своем бизнесе и масштабируем на мировой рынок. МТС Стартап Хаб ждет тебя и твоих нереальных бизнес-идей.